I'm reading from this November 1943 Der Stürmer, the article below, which is titled What Many Don't Know. There's the German original, and here is the translation. And then I used the digital Jew, right, ChatGPT, for some additional info. So it says, What many don't know. The Jew Sedecius poisoned Charles the Bald. The Jew Miri poisoned Henry II of Castile. The Council of Ten deliberated on July 9th, 1477, about the Jew Salamosini and his brothers, who had offered to have Muhammad II poisoned by his physician, the Jew Valco. The Jew Lopez, physician to Queen Elizabeth of England, was hanged for attempting to poison the Queen. I never heard any of that stuff. That's crazy. But why would anybody surround themselves with the devil's offspring is beyond me. So, but for some reason, people have done it for forever. So anyway, let's see. Where was the poisoning story? So over on, you know what? Yeah. So over on the right, it says top right. It says some medieval chroniclers claimed Charles was poisoned by a Jewish physician. The main source comes from Adhemar of Shabanez, 11th century, which is 150 years later, and then other ecclesiastical writers. Um, it says there's no contemporary evidence to support this, but I bet there probably is. We just need to find it. So, because they didn't, I'm sure they didn't write that for no reason. Of course, the Jews always have an excuse, right? It's never them, ever. So, and then it says the poisoning story. According to some late medieval and early modern sources, King Henry II was poisoned by his Jewish physician, Maester Mir. The account appears in chronicles written long after Henry's death, notably by Spanish writers in the 15th and 16th centuries, who often framed Jews as treacherous or dangerous to Christian rulers. And well, that's true, right? Um, so yeah, it'd be interesting to find what did those Spanish writers base what they were writing on. Like what info, what books did they use? Because again, I'm sure it's true. So where did they get the info from? Um, so then under that it says Rodrigo Lopez. He was Jewish, and then he converted to Christianity, which means nothing. He was a converso. He's always a Jew. Is always a Jew. They can never ever change. It is their nature. It is how they were made. It doesn't matter what they claim to be. Um, and it says that he was suspected of remaining secretly Jewish, and it says that he was executed in 1594. He was accused of plotting to poison Queen Elizabeth in collusion with Spanish agents, probably Jews from Spain. So, and then under that, it's Muhammad II of the Ottoman Empire died suddenly. Wow, it died suddenly in 1481. Did he take the fake flu shot in 1481? Probably did, right? Rumors circulated his physician, Yakub Pasha, a Jew, may have poisoned him, but it's unproven according to the digital Jew. I'm sure it's true. And maybe Yakub Pasha, the Jew, convinced Muhammad II to take a flu shot. No idea what actually happened there. But again, you don't have stories from all over the world in all times of history from all different races of people that are all similar against the Jew and pointing out the evil the Jews do if it's not true, right? The whole world isn't lying about Jews. It's the Jews lying to try to protect their evil and satanic actions. So, in their plot against the world. So, anyway, continuing. The 80-year-old universe. Oh, yeah, says this is only a glimpse into the history of Jewish poisoning, right? There's probably a ton more. And we see it today, right, with vaccination and other stuff. It is all poison. There is no good vaccine, and it's entirely Jewish. The 80-year-old university professor Kuza in Romania writes the following in the journal German Ethnic Group, People in the East. Quote, the Jewish problem in Romania can only be solved by the complete expulsion of the Jews. As early as 1893, I declared in my book about the Romanian artisan class that the mission of our people in its present culture consists primarily of removing the Jews from its existence, right? From Romania. The anti-Jew Otto von Bismarck was destined by the Kahal, right, the Jewish Kahal, to fall under the bullet of the Jew Cohen Blind, another Jew, uh, under the bullet of the Jew Cohen Blind on May 7th, 1866, in Berlin. Fortunately, the assassination attempt failed. Now, get this. Listen to what the digital Jew tells me. The digital Jew states the only documented attempt on Bismarck's life happened in 1866, but after the war, and the attacker was not Jewish, right? That's what it says. Then it says, then I clarified that. I asked, I was like, well, they were racially a Jew, right? Or had Jewish ancestry. And it says, on May 7th, 1866, a student named Ferdinand Cohen Blind shot Bismarck twice in Berlin. Cohen Blind was of Jewish descent. His mother was a Jew revolutionary in Germany, but he himself was a secular political idealist, not acting out of any religious or communal motive. So yes, he had Jewish ancestry, but his act was not a Jewish act. So that is an example to prove to you that these artificial intelligence nonsense that they're peddling as being, so intelligent are not. They're just programmed by Jews. You're literally talking to a Jew. It's good to give you some factual data, but it's not good to give you any interpretations of anything. I mean, I can't, the guy was a Jew and it's telling me he's not a Jew. So, I mean, it's literally Jew thought right there. Absolutely freaking retarded. Anyway, finishing this, it says the French car manufacturer, the Jew Andre Citroën, laid the foundation for his wealth in the war. Deliveries during the First World War, which his father-in-law, Minister Loucheur, arranged for him. Citroën then defrauded French savers of 300 million francs. No way. A Jew defrauding people of millions of dollars? Don't we hear about that literally every year in today's world? It's unbelievable. Nothing changes. The Jew is a Jew is always going to be a Jew. People need to wake up.